What is up, peeps and peepettes? This is Nietzsche, and I want to welcome you to the R&B Old School LP album review. Now it's the summertime, and I'm going to review lots of albums during the summer. So we'll get right to our third album that I'm going to review in this series. It's called Shalamar's Big Fun. Now, this album was released on August 30th, 1979 by the record label of Solar. Now, Solar is the acronym for Sounds of Los Angeles Records. It was formed by Dick Griffey Productions and included many artists: Midnight Star, The Whispers, Carrie Lucas, Dynasty, just to name a few. But Shalamar was no exception. Now, this is their third album. Their now, Jody Watley, Jeffrey Daniels, a talented dancer, by the way, and a newcomer, Howard Hewitt, who replaced Gerald Brown after the second album. Now, as I said, this was released in 1979 by the Solar Record Company. And this album was a success. Let me go over some of the songs for you in a little bit, and then I get to the main ones. I Owe You One. I'll listen to it a little bit. It's alright. It was alright song though, but nonetheless, it wasn't charted. Girl, kind of a Latin beat, disco flavor to it, was one of those songs that should have been in the Billboard charts. Now, Take Me to the River, I haven't really listened to it that much, but it is another song on the Big Fun album. Now, two other songs on here that should have been charted in the R&B wise and in the dance wise, though, to The Right Time for Us was a up-tempo funk flavor, as you can say. And one of my favorite Shalamar songs on this album. Now, let's find the time for love. This is, to me, this is one of Shalamar's best slow dance songs that they ever produced. I'm gonna rate that second. The first, this is For the Lover in You for the Three for Love album, which was released in November 1980. This song should have been a hit. Should have been charted. Now, it's a slow dance song. And the reason it didn't chart, to me, because it didn't get much airplay in the radio. Now, if I were to become a DJ, I would play this song. I would definitely play this song to the slow dance, to the lovers out there. Let's Find the Time for Love should have been a hit but it is a good song for this album. Now, Right in the Socket. We're getting to the late 70s and on to the 80s. It ranked 22 on the U.S. R&B charts. And let's see, number 44 on the UK singles charts. Now these are all Billboard charts, by the way. It was charted back in early 1980. And excuse me. And Right in the Socket, one of those synthesizer beats, the synthesizers, toward the end of disco, getting to the 80s, when most bands decide to discard their instruments and focus on the synthesizers, a popular thing for the 80s. There is a video of it, and I saw it on YouTube. So Right in the Socket, number 22 R&B, number 44 in the UK singles chart. Now, the second time around, the best song on this album, number 1 on the US R&B Billboard charts, number 8 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts, and number 45 on the UK singles chart in 1979. Now this was one of those disco songs. One of those disco songs. Probably the best disco song of 1979. Or if ever, the best, one of the greatest disco songs ever. There are 2 videos to it. Now, necessarily, it did not mark the end of disco, as some people say. But it still had that disco beat. And that's why clubs in the late 1979 to early 1980 play this song. Now today, we got to deal with this new music, bubble gum pop, American Idol type crap that we listen to. This is why I listen to old school peeps. And this is definitely old school. Someday, if you go to a retro disco club, if they play this song in a club, I bet everybody's going to dance to it. And I know some retro music stations that specialize in old school music from the 70s and 80s would play this song, most definitely. Most definitely. So this is the best disco song of 1979. Now, this album, by the way, was a GOAT album, more than 500,000 units each. Well, I should say a piece. First GOAT album that Shalamar has ever made. Too bad it didn't reach platinum, but it was still a success for Shalamar. Now, on the US R&B album chart, it ranked 4th. And on the US Billboard 200 chart, number 23. Pretty damn good for Shalamar, and pretty good high rankings too. Ranking the top 5 R&B wise, and ranked in the top 25 country wise. So I'm gonna give this album a 10 out of 10 because of mainly the second time around and right in the socket to the most important songs of the album. For the R&B Old School LP album review. Until then, later on.